really does sometimes feel like a coworker, where if you have a long-running task, I could be doing other things right now, which is oftentimes what I am doing, whether I'm coding, responding to emails, or in this case, creating PowerPoint. Vibe time. We got a presentation coming up at the Microsoft Edina event location, where we're going to be talking about Microsoft Copilot Cowork, and it is Sunday, the 3rd. So the presentation is in about 2 days. What the presentation is going to be about, it'll be titled Vibecoding Your Enterprise, Attention is All You Need by Justin Trantham and Microsoft Copilot Cowork. What we want to explain in this talk is we'll start with AI, what the AI means, large language model, small language model, YOLO, diffusion models, transcription models, all of those, going through this kind of quick here. Then we'll talk about what's Copilot Cowork and what's Copilot Studio. Then we'll dive a little bit more into how to utilize those tools, use tools versus a markdown file versus a Word document, kind of how those all play in. Then we'll talk about tool usage. MCP is an example, a protocol of that, but more or less how Microsoft is utilizing those with Microsoft Copilot Cowork. And then we'll go into some workflows that we've come up with so far with Microsoft Copilot Cowork, include devs skill, the bookings meeting skill, which we don't have to call here, but just we'll talk about that. And then, yeah, we'll have some time for questions. So let's dive into, this video is about creating that presentation. So let's dive right into that. And what's funny is this whole time I was transcribing what we were saying, and it's going to be put into a Copilot browser tab once we are done with this. I will switch over there now and we will get started. Vibe time. I always forget, before the prompt goes in, please like and subscribe down below. It goes a long way in helping our community grow. Thanks. A tool for Windows that it's called Prime Dictate, and that's what we used to transcribe that. But now Copilot is going to use its Copilot Cowork. It's going off our prompt right now. Creates an output folder. We haven't created anything yet. We have an input folder here. We haven't given it anything, and then we're telling it the skills. So it's using the PowerPoint skill because we talked about, and Copilot was smart enough in this case to, I should say Claude was smart enough in this case to select the right skill so far. I'm going to design this with a AI themed look, deep indigo with electric cyan accents that match the Vibecoding energy. Let me draft the slide content and generation script. It's building the generation script right now. We're going to have it change this later because it did not use the skill that I wanted it to, but that's okay. The cool thing about doing something like this, it really does sometimes feel like a coworker, where if you have a long-running task, I could be doing other things right now, which is oftentimes what I am doing, whether I'm coding, responding to emails, or in this case, creating PowerPoint. Kind of fun. I'm going to try to move myself so that you can see the skill here. It's building the slides, building the presentation, preparing to work with the PowerPoint. The skill is going to be over here. Oop, we're off the screen here. So that's the skill, the PowerPoint skill used. And then it's just building our slides over here. And then now it's putting it in the output folder. Whee! Get a little bit bigger here and hang out down at the bottom. Whee! That's kind of fun. See, it looks like it's still airing out. You can just click on it. I just clicked on the PowerPoint here, and that's what opened it. This is a pretty nice window. I believe, see, I'm not as familiar with Claude Cowork, but I believe it's very similar. You can see up here the models too. I'll do that one more time now that I'm in this cool mode right here. There we go. I figured it out. So then you can drop it down and you can choose Opus 4.7, which is kind of nice. Opus 4.7, or you can choose Opus 4.6 as well. Let's see if it lets you do this. So some things you can see here, if you can actually see your skills. So these are some skills that Microsoft has by default over here. All these are the default skills. So PDF skill, then you have Word here, which you can call, looks like, with forward slashes as well. Excuse me. So PDF, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Calendar, which is I've used that one a lot actually. Daily briefing, I haven't really used that one. Meetings, I've used that one. Scheduling, communications, skill management, which is funny. You need a skill to create a skill. I think that's funny, at least. Then you have affiliate links. This is actually a good one if you do any affiliate marketing. This helps a lot when I respond to emails. It'll use our affiliate codes for the links. For example, we're affiliates with Lovable. Microsoft affiliate doesn't really work in that manner, but it does in the Lovable manner. Any links that have a UTM tag as well could also be helpful if you do any UTM tagging, if you're in the marketing department. That could be helpful. And then these are some skills that I've created. I'm not sure what this one is or this one. Here's a generate contract one though. That was one we were testing with to generate the contracts. So those are the skills. Bring it over so you can see it, but so it did pretty good. Not terrible. Let's make myself smaller. Whee! Alright, so looks pretty good though. Transcription, real-time spot detection, spot object, yeah. That, are these interactable? I don't know if we can add motion. We'll have it add some motion. Try that yet. Word document. Yeah, that's pretty good. That did pretty good. Let's try to make it go. Let's try to stretch it a little bit here. First, we want to see if we can save it. So what I'm going to do is I have a skill.
I just wanted to say over this, I'm skipping. What happened is the file was being copied and there were some SharePoint issues. I believe Microsoft's still working on this integration. So I ended up just manually copying the file to a new session and then referencing that file from that SharePoint in this session. So I'm saving you some time by not listening and watching me troubleshoot that.
Created a TC Dog Meetup. I like that. What else should we add here? Let's think. Oh yeah. Can you use the FlowDevs brand kit to apply the voice across all the pages to make sure that it's aligned with the brand voice? Thank you. And use our assets as well. Thank you. Is ready to go. It still doesn't work. Let's just open this up in the folder. Okay, cool. It's opening the wrong folder. Let's just see if it did update the SharePoint one or not. If not, what we might have to do is just open another chat, which wouldn't be that big of a deal, but kind of annoying. We're going to do a little bit more dictation here. All right, I want to do a little bit of editing. Can you look at the brand skill and look at this file that we've attached? We're going to make some edits to this file and edits to the brand skill as well. The brand skill, we want to have something, especially for PowerPoints, to reference more images, I think, around QR codes. And maybe PowerPoint can generate QR codes if possible. We can just do that directly. But for the introduction slides, we should have LinkedIn for all of our employees for how they can get connections, things like that. So how we can utilize the connections, I think, is important. You know, if we're ever at the same conference or if you have questions about some of the tools that we're using here today, I'm more than happy to help or get you in contact with somebody who can help if it's something that I don't know how to do. And then I think the last page should really just talk about getting in touch or keeping in contact with what we're doing, which should have 2 QR codes. One of the QR codes is going to be for our Discord server, and another one should just be for our company LinkedIn. And we'll have both of those be our outros. Don't take everything I'm saying as pure as to steer the conversation. If there's anything I'm missing that would be good for intros and outros that's redundant or replicatable, I guess is a better word, for PowerPoints, let me know and I'd happily do that as well. And we'll see. No, I didn't say thank you. I stopped it. All right. I talked for a while there. We'll see if it has better access to the SharePoint file now. And the time check is 52 minutes. I thought this would take about an hour. I did take about All right, so now we need our Discord link, which is going to be this. This is what's kind of cool about Cowork and Copilot is it'll ask you questions as you go through. LinkedIn, let's look at what LinkedIn is. I believe that's right. Perfect. So we'll see if this works well here. Question card. Okay, so there's an error. Or did I hit cancel? Let's watch on the record. The thing about all this is we can just restart it or keep it going. 55 minutes. Not bad. Can you review the file with the brand kit and update the brand kit with the QR code generation for just me right now? I don't see slide 1. Is it because did you not upload it back to SharePoint? Can you make sure that you upload it back to SharePoint when you're done while we're going like this? And then we'll make sure that we are just updating that SharePoint file directly. Thank you. So I'll run that really quick. I'm guessing it did this to the output folder, which isn't kind of annoying, but... Oh no, it didn't. Just didn't do it. Oh yeah. I'll give this to the cowork team. Might as well. Looking through this file, I want to do a few other things here. So I want to start out by let's update the LLM and SLMs based on the date, today's date, 5/3/2026. So do some searching, some deep researching, just maybe not super deep, but just a little bit of research to kind of search for that. YOLO, that's great. I like that. Maybe talk about bounding boxes quickly. Diffusion's great. Dolly, Sora, VO. It's a little hard to read some of those colors in that diffusion tab. So maybe we can just look at that and try to fix that on slide number 5. Then there's the speech to text, whisper as our speech. That's great. Then from there, let's just, that's good. We'll start with just those 2 pages for now. That would probably be best. Thank you. All right, so we'll have that, do some editing, and then we'll upload it. Now it's going to search the web. So this thought process actually searched the web, which is pretty sweet. So Claude is searching the web using today's date based off that prompt we did, which is awesome. So that can help us quite a bit, because now it's going to say Gemini 3, Claude 4 family, Llama 4 are the current as of May 2026. So that's good. GPT-5, Claude 4 family. Yep, that looks good. So it'll update it with live information, which is awesome. So we'll go back to waiting, and yeah, we'll let this work for a while. Perfect. Let's take a look at our file here. It's weird that it doesn't let us just open the folder. Oh, it does now. Okay, cool. You can find it in My Documents and then Cowork and then Sessions, and then you can find the session ID. I wonder if there's a way. It's probably in the URL somewhere up at the top there, but we're going to go and we'll update this brand kit slide a little bit. I don't really like the example. So maybe can we use real examples from the brand kit is what I think we'll do. So let's work on a prompt here. Okay, so I do like the Vibecoding the Enterprise, the slide number 11 here, but I don't really like the before and after where we use the brand kit. Yeah, we used it for the PowerPoint, but we've also used it for responding to emails, maybe where it's a little bit iffy or outreach or even not really internal communication, which is what it looks like here. Copilot Cowork is really using the skill to apply our brand to documentation, PDFs, presentations, Word documents, that type of thing. That's where a brand would come in more than anything else. So update that if you can to be more real. And then, but don't let that steer you too much. I would like it to be just based off of what you think. Sponsored by FlowDevs. If you or anyone you know would be interested in using Copilot Cowork for their business, let me show you a great business use case for Copilot Cowork right here. We received some emails over the weekend from Bill. Can you review those emails? I believe there were some times for meeting next week, not this coming week, but the week after. We want to schedule a time that works well with everybody. So can you generate a response to them with times that work for us so we can block our calendar off? Thank you. If this type of workflow is something that you believe could save you time in your day job, or your boss doesn't have any clue what automation even means, give FlowDevs a call. We'd love to help you. Be right back when this returns. Who are you going to call? FlowDevs. And just like that, we've created a calendar hold and we've responded to everybody. Thanks, FlowDevs, for the sponsor. Back to it. I think the last thing we really need to do is I would like to add the QR code to LinkedIn for me on the front page on this one. That seems to make the most sense. And then remove the part where it just gives like the URL for LinkedIn. We don't need that. On the last page, we can have that. That way there's not 3 QR codes on the last page. 2 is enough. All right, last thing here, I'll ask you if there's anything you need from me to make this polished, but also I would like to add movement to the slides if we can, where necessary. Maybe make things shake as we talk. And then also let's create just like a rough draft of a transcript or the timekeeper that we should keep for each slide. We'll be talking for about 30 to 35 minutes and hopefully leave about 5 minutes for questions, just for timing on everything. But just based off the slides, create a quick transcript, add some movements to the slides. If you too can, please make sure to use the designer skill so everything looks amazing and beautiful. And then from there, I think we're pretty much ready to go unless there's any feedback you have from me on something we are missing. Don't let anything I've said steer you. Just use your knowledge of presentations to give me any feedback. All right, looks like it did come back with some good feedback. Let's apply that feedback. And it can't do animations, so that's fine. All right, that's fine. Let's just apply that feedback then. I like all the feedback you provided. That's okay, we can do that. If possible, is there a way to upload the XML into the PowerPoint or just maybe add the animations as an example file that I could import later if I wanted to? If you can, that's fine. Let's do that. And then if this is good, I think we're ready to wrap up then. Thank you. I like that. I think we're pretty much good to go here. What I'm going to do is I'll just do one final swap of, I'm going to delete the file in SharePoint. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to SharePoint. We'll do one last thing here. We'll just tell it to upload it here. We'll probably edit the animations a bit more, but I think that's good for now. And we don't want this video to go too long. I'm going to do one last prompt here. We'll just say, perfect, thank you so much. Are you able to copy everything over to the SharePoint directory? I deleted the temporary file that was there. We'll just use that SharePoint directory now as the ending point for these files. Unless there's anything else you need from us, please ship these files. Thank you. All right, so still running into that graph copy issue. Here to download the files. Once you download, you get these. I'm just gonna copy these, control, control, control. I'm gonna drag them over here. One file wasn't uploaded. Not quite sure why. Let's look at the downloads really quick. Set file in the downloads. Can we upload it here? Replace. Here we go. There are a few things that we might change going forward, but I do like the way that it lays it out. It adds some animations to the slide. It gives us some talking points. The color scheme follows our brand kit. We've updated the brand kit as well along the way. Everything appears to be going pretty well here. So if there's any questions about Copilot Cowork, anything related to the stuff we did, our best way to get a hold of us is just like in this slide here, on the last slide, through Discord or through LinkedIn. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. That'd be awesome. Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful week. See you Wednesday if I see you on site. Otherwise, talk soon. Bye.